welcome to Tammy Talks About. If you've been following my channel, then you're going to be aware of the videos I recently did where I compared AH's behavior to that of narcissistic behavior. I also did a video that was very important that compared the pictures of a true DV victim to that of AH's supposed DV pictures. And all of these comparisons got me thinking. Can I compare the behavior of AH to the tactics that abusers often use against their victims? And I thought this would be pretty interesting. So let's talk about it. So I found this article. This is an article from the NCADV, and it's titled Dynamics of Abuse. And it states, one of the first things it says is, anyone can be a victim of domestic violence. And, you know, one of the things that I keep trying to think about with this entire debacle is that there's got to be some positive come out of it. And the fact that because of this case and because of its media attention, it's bringing attention to male victims of abuse. And that is a good thing, because there needs to be more attention focused on that. It needs to be focused on all victims, but in particular men, because they're less likely to report abuse. So in trying to find at least a positive in all this mess, at least there's that. But let's look at this article. In this article, they use a wheel, and I'm going to try to put it right here in the description, in the thing, so you can take a look at it too. But they use this wheel to demonstrate the different patterns of abuse. And they say that very often one or more violent incidences are accompanied by an array of these other types of abuse. So usually, and those have been in abusive relationships, you know that if all of these usually are accompanied, but most of the time all are accompanied in abuse. So I thought we'd just talk about a few of these and see if we can find a comparison in AH's behavior. So the first one on the wheel is using coercion and threats. Well, immediately I thought about the way she conveniently had the media with her, or show up, they were there when she went for her TRO, and she had her little makeup bruises like our Keely at Keely Talks showed us. And you know, when she was filing for it, and she, after doing that, she basically is telling Johnny, give me what I want in this divorce, or I'm going to make this worse. You know, in doing that, that's exactly what she was saying to him. And, you know, even though there are no allegations of this, I truly believe she coerced him into marrying her. I think that there's no way that, especially considering they didn't have a prenup or anything like that, I think that there was definite coercion in that. Moving on to number 2, using intimidation. Well, immediately I thought about the audio where she's telling him, oh, but there's tons and tons of evidence. And she tells him, you know, and the prosecutor, he said that it was the best case of DV that he'd ever seen. So she's trying to intimidate him in this instance right here by saying, you know, look, I got a lot against you, and if you don't play ball with me and do it the way I want it, then I'm fixing to make this very hard on you. Number 3, we've got emotional abuse. And we know that she was regularly calling him fat and old and washed up. And she even turned his leaving when they would get into arguments into a form of emotional abuse by making him feel like it was the wrong thing for him to do, because she's like, well, you leave and I stay and I fight for us, and you won't even fight for us. By leaving, you're not even fighting for us. That was more emotional abuse right there. And using isolation. Now this one I really like, because we can look at Johnny's behavior and AH's behavior right here and see the differences. She surrounded him with her friends, because they all, Rocky, Drew, Io, Whit, they were all living in Johnny's penthouses on his dime, And those penthouses were all surrounded by their shared penthouse. So she had all of her friends around him. And she definitely was jealous whenever he spent too much time with his friends. So she was, in a way, isolating him by having all these people around them at all times. But then you look at this using isolation. Well, Johnny let her have all of her friends living in their shared penthouse. So that tells you right there, that's not a tactic that an abuser would normally use. So I just found that one real interesting. And then number 5 is minimizing, denying, and blaming. Well, I immediately think about her saying, "Go ahead, Johnny, tell the world, tell them you're a victim. No one will believe you." You know, she's minimizing the fact that she's been abusing him this entire time. And she even, there's another time where she's like, she's going on, well, her hitting him couldn't possibly hurt him or cause him any pain because she's just a tiny little woman and he's a great big man. She's minimizing what she's done to him. She denies that she's actually doing things to hurt him, and she uses all these excuses, and she blames him, just like in the example before when he leaves. Well, she's blaming him that he's not fighting for their relationship. And the thing is, in all of these examples, these are things that have come about because of the divorce and because of the cases brought. And it makes me wonder, what are the things that we're never going to know about? I just feel so sorry for Johnny because it seems like that he was involved in a very, very violent situation. And he did what so many do. He was in love with this person. So at first he tried to make excuses. He tried to help her. He did everything he could until it finally got to the point that he couldn't do it any longer. And it's a painful thing. Even when you're in that situation, and even when you leave, it's still painful. This is a person you've loved. This is a person that you care about. It makes you question so many things about yourself, about everything. And sadly, this has all become public. He was even willing in the end, he would have allowed her to have a wonderful life. He would have took care of her. But her greed got the better of her. I'm just thankful that he got out of it when he did, because the things that we've seen she's capable of. She's very capable of just about anything. But we're going to end it here. I just want to thank you for watching. Tell me what you think about these. Can you think of other incidents? And tell me what you'd like to talk about. I'm going to be doing some different things on this channel, so tell me what you'd like to talk about. And please, as always, if you like this video, leave a thumbs up. Please share this video. I really want to grow my channel, and I want to do a lot of things. But thank you, and as always, be blessed.